जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंदा। जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंदा। जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंदा। जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा। श्री चैतन्य मंगल की जय। श्रील लोचन दास ठाकुर की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I welcome you to this week's Sri Chaitanya Mangal reading. Today is June 7th, 2025. So every Saturday and Sunday at 3 o'clock Eastern Time, we read Sri Chaitanya Mangal, Srila Lochan Das Thakur's Chaitanya Mangal. Sri Chaitanya Mangal is divided into various sections. We completed the Sutra Khanda. Sutra Khanda is the introduction before the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What happened? So we saw in that how Narad Muni got darshan of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He goes to Dwaraka, and then there in Dwaraka, this is during Dwapar Yuga, he gets darshan of Lord Krishna, and he actually goes to Dwaraka out of concern for the people of Kali Yuga. He sees that Kali Yuga didn't start, but knowing that in Kali Yuga people are not going to have any taste for the chanting of the holy names, how are they going to be delivered? Out of compassion, he went to Dwaraka, and there so there's another situation going on there at the time. Rukmini Devi, uh, you know, she's so there's a pastime between Krishna and Rukmini Devi going on. So at the end of that, Narad Muni arrives, and Lord Krishna reveals his form of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. So Rukmini Devi and Narad Muni, they get darshan of this. At that time, Krishna told Narad Muni to go and inform, because Narad Muni can travel to any planet without any restriction. So Lord Krishna told Narad Muni to go and inform everywhere in all the planets that about the arrival of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Narad Muni was in ecstasy himself, you know. So how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would come and deliver all the people of Kali Yuga and teach them the chanting of the holy names. So we see several, so the description of Chaitanya Mangal is given in the form of songs, song 1, song 2, like this. So there are 14 songs in Sutra Khanda. Within Sutra Khanda, first section is called Grantharamba. So there an introduction is given about how this book came about. And after that, in Sutra Khanda, we see the history, what happened before the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Narad Muni goes to various places. He goes to Naimisharanya, then he goes to Kailash, then he goes to Brahmaloka, and then he comes to the earth. And on earth, when he comes to Jagannath Puri, actually, when he comes to the earth, he's informed by the Lord to go to Jagannath Puri. He goes to Jagannath Puri. There, Lord Jagannath tells him, "You go to Golok Vrindavan." Then Narad Muni goes to Golok Vrindavan, and there he sees the Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu in Golok Vrindavan Dham, and he gets instructions from the Lord telling him to go and ask Lord Balaram and the other demigods, etc., to go and take birth before the Lord's appearance. So Narad Muni does all this background work. And then we see in the Sutra Khanda itself who all appeared before Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Advaita Acharya appeared, Haridas Thakur appeared, Nityananda Prabhu appeared, Advaita Acharya's consorts appeared, and a list of devotees' names is given. Then Adi Khanda begins. Janma Lila of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we saw the appearance of Gauranga Mahaprabhu in Janma Lila. You will find some rare pastimes which you don't see in Chaitanya Charitamrita and Chaitanya Bhagavat. How Advaita Acharya, came once when Saci Mata was pregnant. She was 6 months pregnant with Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And also how she became so effulgent, and what was, everyone in Navadvip became so ecstatic, because as her pregnancy was advancing, she was becoming more and more effulgent. Not herself, but the whole house and everywhere around her. It was just becoming so effulgent. So it was obvious to everyone, some great personality. In fact, they were even thinking the Supreme Lord is going to appear. The demigods could see that also. And after that, we see that when she's 6 months pregnant, Advaita Acharya came to visit. Normally, he just came to visit. And then they were worshipping Sri Jagannath Mishra and Saci Mata. Saci Mata was washing bathing the feet of Advaita Acharya. He was a respectable Vaishnava. He was the leader of the Vaishnava community. But when he saw Saci Mata, all of a sudden, his eyes became red, and, it was visible. And he had tears in his eyes. Then he got up, he started circumambulating Saci Mata. And they were surprised, what's going on? He was like a grandfather type of person, in age as well as in position. And they were surprised. Why is he offering obeisances and doing parikrama? So Jagannath Mishra asked, what is the reason? And Advaita Acharya said, you will know in time. He didn't say anything. He actually performed arti, right? He applied sandalwood to the womb, performed arti, did, pranams, and then silently went away without saying anything like that. So anyway, in that we see how about the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We know the details of Gaur Purnima, appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from Chaitanya Bhagavat, Chaitanya Bhagavat mainly we'll see, but some details, some pastimes which are not mentioned there are mentioned here. After that, we saw Bala Lila. So this is continuation of Adi Khanda. So songs 3 and 4 were about the Balya Lila of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. In fact, we are still going to read today also about the Balya Lila. We saw songs 3, 4, and 5 last session. So there we saw how Gaurang Mahaprabhu, as a little baby, he would ask for things which are impossible, and he would be like so, he would be crying and crying, and Saci Mata, how she's trying to pacify him. Your father is going to come with bananas. Keep quiet, like that. And then also we see, how he's playing the role of a small baby, like just like a little baby, sucking his mother's breast and playing like that. Lochandas Thakur is completely amazed at the pastimes of the Supreme Lord like a small baby. Mm. And then we also see Sachi Mata, she's sleeping. She sleeps in a room, separate room with the baby, and Jagannath Mishra is sleeping in another room. And then all of a sudden she sees these demigods coming in her room, and then she gets scared. So he's now a little older, he can walk. So she tells so first of all the demigods come and they take him away from Sachimata. And then she sees there is a golden throne, and they seat little Nimai on that golden throne, and they start performing Arti and performing Abhishek. And she's like, oh my God, what's going on? So she got scared. So she tells Nimai, you go to your father's room. They cannot come to your father's room. They don't go there. You go there. So he starts walking away, listening to his mother. He starts walking away, and the demigods follow behind him. And she's hearing ankle bells, although her boy doesn't wear ankle bells. And then when he goes out, she sees they're following him. So he guides them to the courtyard outside. And in the courtyard, all these demigods are, they're worshipping him and bowing down before him. So little Nimai, small baby, small child, like a toddler, he's engaging all of them in chanting Radha Krishna's names. And they're all chanting Radha Krishna and crying in ecstasy. And hearing all this commotion from inside, Jagannath Mishra calls out, Sachi, 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 what's happening? She is not able to, she's also completely bewildered seeing this, so she doesn't answer. She screams actually. Uh, then Jagannath Mishra came out running, and then Mahaprabhu sends all the demigods away. Then he'll go and embrace his father and mother and pacifies them like that. So we saw these pastimes, childhood pastimes, and others also. How Nimai was quite mischievous as a little boy. Mischievous in the sense he liked to go and play in, like, whatever his mother would say, don't play in dirt and things like that. You should keep yourself clean, etc. But he would like to go and play in the dirt with the other boys. And when she would come and see, she would be mad, she would be angry, and she would call, Nimai, what are you doing? And then he would start running away from there out of fear of Sachimata. And then he came home running, and then he starts breaking all the pots and everything in the house. And by the time she reaches home, she sees everything is broken. She's angry, but he's feeling so guilty and scared, fearful. Seeing him scared, she doesn't punish him. Instead, she just says, you naughty boy, and then she just embraces him like that. Uh, Now, Sachimata also, she talks with her other friends, ladies. I don't know why Nimai is so restless all the time, and he acts so whimsically. Things which he's not supposed to do. When we tell him this is how you should do things, he wants to do the opposite things. I don't know what to do with this. So the ladies are inquiring from Sachimata, since when did Nimai start doing all these things, acting like this? And Sachimata is saying, ever since those demigods came, demigods, I don't know if she realized that demigods, yeah, she saw. Yeah, she said, ever since they came, the demigods came, uh, uh, he's behaving like this. So then they said, you know what I think? We think that one of those demigods must have entered into Nimai's body. He's haunted by them. That's why he's acting like this. You should perform a yagya. And then in that yagya, you should take the names of each of the demigods and then, pacify that demigod by offering oblations, etc. Then the particular demigod who has, uh, possessed Nimai, when he becomes pacified, when you call out his name, he'll become pacified, he will leave. Then Nimai will be all right. So Sachimata went and told Jagannath Mishra, this is what the ladies are saying, we should do yagya. He said, okay, okay, let us do. So they do yagya. And then they worship all the demigods. And after that, now, after the yagya is completed, Sachimata is now, she's like, what do you say, relieved. She's thinking, now Nimai will not do any mischief, right? The yagya is successfully done. He will just be a good boy like before now. And then right after the yagya is finished, they are going to take bath. After the yagya is completed, you do It's called Avabhrata Snan, like the conclusion of the yagya. When the yagya is completed, you are supposed to go and take bath in the holy river. So they're going to take bath in the Ganges, and while they were going there, or maybe after taking bath, right after this is completed, after the yagya is completed, Nimai goes once again, and he goes to the rejected pots, and he starts playing in the rejected pots. Means pots which have been already cooked in. You're not supposed to touch them. So he's going and playing with them. She's shocked. What's going on? Right? Nimai, don't you know you're not supposed to touch the rejected parts? These are uh, impure, right? Now you're contaminated. And then Nimai gives instructions to his mother and says, people are in ignorance. They don't understand what is religion and what is irreligion and what is pure and what is impure. So in another place we see, he says that anything which is, you know, cooked in for Lord Vishnu, it's actually purified. How it can become impure like that? And even if it were impure, by his touch, it actually becomes pure. So then Sachimata is surprised about all the things that he's saying. And then she went to her husband and she told him, Nimai said all these things. So Jagannath Mishra simply gazed at his son. He was in ecstasy and he just embraced him. And I think that's where we stopped in the last session. Let us continue reading now. So that was song 5. Mm. I'll just read the last few lines. He went to an unclean place and then he spoke words. Acha, Sachimata is telling her husband. See, I'll tell. See. Now my son is even more mischievous. He stays far away from good deeds. Then she angrily called to him, bad, bad. Hearing her words, Lord Vishwambar compassionately said, what is pure and impure? What is religious and not religious? Not knowing the answers to these questions, the whole world is on the verge of destruction. Right? Not knowing what is right and what is wrong. That means doing the wrong thing, thinking that it is right, and giving up the right thing. The whole world is on the verge of destruction. This material world is made of earth, water, air, fire, ether, and form. There is nothing else here. Huh? There is no religion but Lord Krishna's feet. What is religion? Religion means only bhakti. Vedaischa sarvair ahameva vedya. The purpose of all the Vedas, what are the Vedas indicating to? Towards the Supreme Lord. All the knowledge that is there in the Vedas is meant to bring us to the lotus feet of Krishna. So there is no religion but Lord Krishna's feet. The heart of religion says, Lord Krishna is the master. This is Nimai telling his mother, little boy. Lord Krishna is the master of all masters of all masters. Hearing these words, Sachi became filled with wonder. Taking Lord Gauranga with her, she bathed in the Ganga. So they were on the way. So he touched all the used pots. So she just took him and she bathed with him in the Ganga. Returning home, she said to Jagannath Mishra, O saintly one, please hear what our boy has done. Our son is all yagyas personified. He's yagya personified. He knows the conclusion of religion. He alone and no one else knows it. She's probably saying in a, like a sarcastic way that only he knows everything. That means whatever else everyone else is doing, all that is ignorance, he knows the truth. This little boy, he knows everything. He is Yagya personified. He knows everything. Nobody knows anything else. Only he knows everything. And he knows the conclusion of religion. He went to an unclean place and then he spoke words I never saw or heard a child speak. Of course, there is also amazement. He's speaking philosophy. Such philosophy is speaking. I've never heard any child speak like this. Huh? So he went to an unclean place and then he spoke words I never saw or heard a child speak. Hearing these words, Jagannath Mishra hugged his son. Jagannath Mishra is a great learned Pandit himself and a devotee of the Lord, great devotee of the Lord. So when he heard what Nimai said, that the only religion is bhakti to Krishna, there is no other religion. So when Jagannath Mishra heard what the boy said, he went and embraced his little son. He said, maybe you touched an unclean place, but all is good now, right? Because you know the conclusion of all religion. Yeah, it's maybe you touched the unclean place, but no problem. It is all good now. You are the lamp of my family, the star of my eye. As the body cannot live without the soul, so I cannot live without you. When these words were spoken, Sachi and Jagannath Mishra both gazed at their son's face. Overcome with love, they forgot themselves. 100 streams of tears flowed from their reddened eyes. Normally, we see one stream. Okay, sometimes two. If sometimes you're crying too much, then maybe three. 100 streams of tears are flowing from each eye, from Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Mata's eyes. 100 streams of tears flowed from their reddened eyes. The hairs of their bodies stood erect. They spoke with broken words. Smiles were born on both their faces. Lochandas thus happily sings the glories of Lord Gaura. So that was the end of last song. We'll begin with the next song today, song 6. Continuation of Balya Lila. Glory, glory to Lord Gauranga. Glory, glory to Lord Gauranga. Alas, why do I not taste the nectar bliss of love for Lord Gauranga? Lochandas Thakur is saying, Jai, Jai, Sri Gauranga. Oh, I am so unfortunate. Why am I not tasting the nectar of the bliss of love of Lord Gauranga? Day by day, moment by moment, Lord Gaura's body grew. He became like Mount Sumeru. He's growing up. Little baby, now he's growing bigger and bigger and bigger. Gaurang Mahaprabhu's form is Nyagrodha Parimandala. That means, he has the measurements of the Supreme Lord. He is the Supreme Lord. So he grew and he became like Mount Sumeru. He's tall, there are, I think, 32 symptoms, physical features about his forehead, his nose, everything, all his limbs, his hands, like that. So he just grew, became like Mount Sumeru. His sweet words were like flooding streams of nectar. He's speaking, and his speech was like streams of nectar, but they're coming so much nectar that it is just flooding. Hearing them, Mother Sachi felt her heart become filled with wonderful bliss. Sometimes she would tell him something, and Lord Gaura would reply, I can't hear your words. Sachimata tells little Nimai maybe to do something or to come or take something there. She tells something and he would reply, I'm not able to hear. I can't hear your words. Then she would playfully shout the words. Huh? So, oh, he's not able to hear. So she'll say loudly, Nimai, do this, like that. Still, forest flower garlanded Lord Gaura only said, I can't hear. He's playing. The mother is saying something and he's not able to. He's saying, I can't hear what you're saying. So she's saying loudly, do this. And he's saying, I can't hear. Mother Sachi was completely overcome with mother's love. Wild with anger, she picked up a stick as if to chase him. Proud boy, you can't hear me? She called out. When I am old, you will not give me even a grain of rice. You understood? Sachimata is saying, now you're so little, and now you don't listen to what I'm asking you to do. When I become an old lady, I'll become invalid. I'm not able to do anything. You'll do anything for me then. You won't even give me food to eat. You won't give me even one grain of food to eat. You're not doing, you proud boy, like that, with a stick in her hand. She's chastising him. So, in this way, she spoke. Sachi's son still insisted, I cannot hear my mother's words. Then Sachi became very angry. One glance was enough. She was so angry. Just one glance was enough. Lord Gaura fled. Stick in hand, Sachi chased him. Lord Gaura ran to an unclean place where rejected clay pots were thrown. So, this is the other pastime. So, earlier, what we saw, he just went and touched the rejected pots, and then she just took him and gave him a bath. This time, he actually went, so they keep, they cook in clay pots traditionally. And after cooking in those pots, you don't reuse them. So all these used pots are piled up in one on in one corner in the backyard somewhere. So he went there to that place. When Sachimata was chasing him, he was running away from her. She had a stick in her hand, and Lord Gaura ran to an unclean place where rejected clay pots were thrown. Seeing this, Mother Sachi put her hand on her head. Hi, hi, she angrily said. Now she was even angrier. She was even more angry at Lord Vishwambar. First of all, he didn't listen to her. When she called him, he didn't reply. He said, I can't hear. She called a few times, and each time he's saying, I don't hear you. And then when she got angry and chased after him, he goes and sits on a pile of rejected pots. So she became even angrier now. And she said, and what else did he do? To the top of the heap of rejected pots, he climbed. Out of fear, he's running away from his mother. He started climbing up the pots. Small boy, right? He climbed up the pots and went to the top and sat there. Hearing her angry words, he did the exact opposite with children, right? So you become angry at them, and they become even more determined to do what you don't want them to do. So she's getting angrier and angrier, and the child is insisting on doing just the opposite. Whatever she wants him to do, he'll do the opposite. So, hearing her angry words, he did the exact opposite. Realizing this, Sachi happily and affectionately said, so she understood that my becoming angry is not helping the situation. So she now very affectionately and happily she said, come, come, dear son, give up these horrible acts. It is not right. You should follow a Brahmana's dharma. You are a Brahmana's boy. You were born in a very good family. What will the people say when they hear about your horrible acts? What is the horrible act that he did? He went and sat on the cooking pots in which cooking was already done. So they're considered to be rejected pots. So she's saying, you're a Brahmana boy. Brahmanas are expected to behave properly. This is a horrible act that you're doing, sitting on rejected pots. If people see you, a Brahmana boy, acting like this, what will they say? Come, come, dear son, bathe in the Ganga's waters. Your mother's life is cracking. Come and give me a hug. So, your acts are uh, breaking my heart, right? Your mother's life is cracking. I'm dying. Come and give me a hug. And also, I'm missing you, right? Yeah. Come, come. I want to just hug you. Come. If you don't, I will die. Small boy. So she's saying, if you don't come, mummy's going to die. I will jump in the Ganga and drown. Then you'll only stay at home. Walk from room to room and cry and cry. So she's showing the future. If you don't come now, I'm going to drown myself in the Ganga and I will die. So you will not have a mother. What will you do? You'll have to just stay at home all day, and you'll go from one room to the other, and you'll simply be crying and crying and crying. Your body is like the purest gold. Why do you rub ashes on your beautiful body? So these were pots in which which were used for cooking already. So after cooking, there is black soot at the bottom of the pot. So he's climbing on the pot. So on his golden body, the black soot, it got on his body. So she's saying, your body is beautiful like pure gold. Why do you rub ashes on your beautiful body? My dear boy, please leave this horrible, unclean place. The ashes on your body are like the spots on the moon. Hearing these words, Lord Vishwambar became angry. Sachimata said, these ashes are, so she said, this is a horrible place. Huh? So you come down. So Lord Vishwambar became angry. Again and again he said, you don't understand. When you speak the words clean and unclean, you are not speaking very intelligently. What is clean and what is unclean? Try to understand my questions. He said that already. Remember, previously, after the yagya, he said, you don't understand what is clean and what is unclean. So he's saying again, you don't understand. When you say clean and unclean, you're not speaking very intelligently. What is clean? What is unclean? Try to understand my questions. After speaking these words, Lord Gaura picked up a piece of brick in his hand. With the brick, he struck his mother's head. He picked up a brick and he hit his mother's head. With that blow, Mother Saci. So why he threw a brick at her? Because he was angry that she's saying that this place is unclean. So he just picked up a small brick and he hit Sachi Mata. So it was a small brick. So with that blow, Sachimata pretended to fall unconscious. Like, when that hit, it's as if like she got hurt and she just pretended that she became unconscious. Now he will come down, right? So calling, mother, mother, Lord Gauda wept again and again. He thought, oh my God, my mother fell down. Maybe she died. So he started crying. Hearing the Lord's weeping, the village ladies ran there. They sprinkled Ganga water on Sachi's face. She became conscious again. As soon as she became conscious, she called out, Vishwambar, holding her son in her arms. Sachi again fell unconscious. So the first time she was pretending, but this time she actually fell unconscious out of ecstasy, holding Vishwambar in her arms. Looking at his mother, Vishwambar wept. Then a smiling, glorious woman spoke to him. So the ladies were assembled. So one of the ladies is saying, touching his chin, she said to Vishwambar, bring 2 coconuts for your mother. Like small child, she's holding him. Go, bring 2 coconuts for your mother. In a moment, he affectionately gave the 2 coconuts to his mother. See, so from where he got, right? They said, go bring 2 coconuts. And immediately he presents 2 coconuts to his mother. And the ladies were astonished. From where did the boy get 2 coconuts in a single moment? Then one very glorious and graceful lady very gently asked Lord Vishwambar, child, from where did you get the coconuts? From your actions, I can know a little of your true nature. I can understand that you're not an ordinary person. You're very extraordinary. I can understand, I can know a little about your true nature from your activities. Hearing these words, Lord Vishwambar cried out and hugged his mother's neck. He was not interested in any of these things. He was just crying for his mother. So after giving the coconuts, they were, expressing their amazement at his activities. He didn't care for that. He just hugged his mother and he started crying, returning to consciousness because she had fainted this time, right? After embracing Vishwambar, she had fainted. So he got coconuts and then embracing her, he's crying. So she came back to consciousness. Returning to consciousness, Sachi hugged her son. Millions and millions of times, she kissed his lotus feet. I'm sorry, lotus face. She kissed his lotus face. How many times? Millions and millions of times. With the edge of her garment, She wiped his face and limbs. He had all this soot on his body, ashes. So with the sari, end of her sari, she's wiping all his body. Hmm. With the edge of her garment, she wiped his face and limbs. Then she bathed his body in the Ganga's waters. Bathing him, she performed an abhishek with the Ganga's waters. Her heart filled with wonder, she gazed at her son's face. She was deep, he was deep like the, so she's marveling the beauty of her son, of her child. He was deep like the ocean. He glistened like 10 million suns. His 10 fingernails and 10 toenails were more glorious than 10 million moons lighting up the night. So the effulgence from his body was like 10 million suns, and the toenails and fingernails, uh, they were like 10 million moons lighting up the night. And he was deep like the ocean. You know, in the ocean is so deep. There are so many things hidden, isn't it? Like that, in his personality, he's so deep, so deep. You don't understand what all there is in him, right? His graceful form defeated 10 million Kamdevs. 10 million Kamdevs. His playful curved eyebrows were bows held by the archer Kamdev. So Cupid holds bow and arrow. He shoots arrows at people. So his eyebrows were like the bows held by Cupid. That means they're so attractive. Anyone who sees his eyes and his eyebrows, they become immediately, they'll fall in love with him. Gazing at her son, who is the master of all the worlds, the Supreme Lord, now manifest on the earth, Mother Saci felt fear in her heart. What is her fear? She's looking at her beautiful son, who was actually the Supreme Personality of Godhead who now had appeared on the earth. But when she looked at him, all of a sudden, she's experiencing fear in her heart. She remembered the secret of how, when she was pregnant, she saw many demigods arrive in their airplanes. Then she remembered her son's other activities. She decided, the effulgent, eternal, untouched by matter Supreme Lord Narayan, whose form is not material, who is everything, who possesses all powers, who is self-satisfied, who is the peerless object of the yogi king's meditations, and who is worshipped by everyone, has now become my son. Why is she experiencing fear? She realized that her son is actually the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So she decided, now she's remembering, seeing the beauty of Krishna, Gaurang Mahaprabhu. She's remembering from childhood, from his early, from his birth, even babyhood, how the demigods, all the wonderful things that she had seen. And now she's concluding, Lord Narayan has appeared in my home. Lord Narayan, whose form is not material, who is everything, right? Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattah sarvam pravartate. Everything is coming from him. So he is everything, who possesses all powers, who is self-satisfied, who is peerless, right? The Aishwarya Bhava, right? About the Supreme Lord. So she's seeing that the Supreme Lord has become my son. Brahma, Shiva, and all the demigods do not know how fortunate I have become. Thinking and thinking in this way, she hugged Lord Gaurarai. Hugging him, Sachi Devi forgot all thoughts of Lord Gaurahari's supreme power and opulence, just like Mother Yashoda. When she would see wonderful things, like in Krishna's mouth, she saw all the planets. But in a moment, she would just forget, she would think, oh, maybe I have some problem, right? That Aishwarya Bhav cannot stay. because of the intense love, that Aishwarya Bhav cannot stay. Here also we see Sachi Mata, she understood from, logically she can derive this is the Supreme Lord. And then she's thinking, oh, the Supreme Lord has become my son. I'm so fortunate. Even Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva don't realize how fortunate I am. And as soon as she embraced him, she forgot all that. Oh, he's just my dear son. Sachi Devi forgot all thoughts of Lord Gaurahari's supreme power and opulence. Again, she became convinced that he was only her small son. Filled with wonder, Sachi returned home. So she had taken him to take bath. Remember what happened? She just told him to do something, and he's like, I can't hear, I can't hear. So she picked up a stick and chased after him, and he went and climbed on the rejected pots. So she called him down. He wouldn't come down. He became angry because she said, this is a horrible place, and this is an unclean place. What will people say? You're a Brahmana boy, you're sitting here. So he picked up a small brick and he threw at her. And then she got hit. She pretended like she fainted. Then he started crying and he came down, and hearing this commotion, all the ladies arrived there. And after that, he brought coconuts, right? He embraced her. Then she came to consciousness. She embraced him, and again she became unconscious. And after drinking or what, she came to consciousness again. When she came to consciousness, then she's realizing, oh, this is the Supreme Lord. And, she wiped his body with her sari, all the black suit. Now she took him to the Ganga and she bathed him nicely. So, and then she returned home. Yeah. So filled with wonder, Sachi returned home. One second, huh? I think I lost something here. She forgot all thoughts of Lord Gaurahari's supreme power and opulence. Again, she became convinced that he was only her small son. Filled with wonder, Sachi returned home. What demigod has entered my son? In this way, she worried. Right? Why he is behaving like this? Because the ladies had said that maybe some demigod entered. So she's wondering, what demigod has entered my son? To protect him, she placed her hand on his body. She chanted, O Lord Janardhan, Lord Rishikesha, Lord Govinda, may the Sudarshan Chakra protect his head. May Lord Narayan protect his eyes, nose, and mouth. May Lord Gadadhar protect his chest. She's touching. So this is actually, there is a procedure like this, right? By touching, we see, where do we see? We see in Krishna Lila also. After Putana was
Yes,
killed,
the gopis
they
prayed.
actually followed, this is a Vedic procedure to protect. So these are kavacha, right? Protective mantras they chant. So the gopis also did the same thing. They knew how to do this. Sachimata also is doing. So the ladies are, they knew all these things. They could, they did cow's tail. They just circle, rotate it around the baby for protection. You should do it every day. That protects the child from all dangers, like that. And also the dust from the cow's hooves, you sprinkle it on the body of, of the child, and the child is protected from all inauspiciousness, evil spirits, and everything. The gopis knew this. Not only this, they also knew the Vedic procedure and the mantras. So immediately first they took care of, they bathed him with cow dung, cow urine, sprinkled the cow dust from the cow's hooves, and rotated the cow's tail. And after that, when they were a little, because they were also in great anxiety for the protection of the child. And then when they were a little pacified, now they actually performed this uh, Nyasa, it's called Karanyasa, right? Like they chant mantras touching various limbs of the body, and they chant various mantras. Exactly like how Sachimata is doing to Nimai. Why she's doing this? Because she's seeing that he's doing so many mischievous activities. Why he's acting like this? Maybe he's possessed by some demigod. So she's saying, may the Sudarshan Chakra protect your head. May Lord Narayan protect your eyes, nose, and mouth. May Lord Gadadhar protect your chest. May Lord Giridhari protect your arms. May Lord Damodar protect your belly. May Lord Narasimha protect your navel. May Lord Trivikram protect your two knees. May Lord Dharadhara protect your 2 feet. Like this. Then Mother Sachi blew air on every part of Lord Gaura's body. She would like blow air like that. She was completely convinced that Lord Gaura was her son. In this way, a blissful day passed. Then an auspicious sunset came. Sachi gave the servants and maidservants their sunset duties. Then, taking Lord Gaurahari with her, she went to the courtyard. After the sun set, a full moon rose in the sky. Then Lord Gaura, who knows everything, acted as if he were a foolish child. Mother, mother, he called out. Sachi said, don't cry at sunset. Hear my words. Whatever you want, I will give you. Then Lord Gaura said, bring the moon down here and give it to me. Laughing and laughing, Sachi said, ha, you don't understand. Okay, we'll just finish this song. Alas, alas, that such a son is in my house, Sachi is saying. Hi, hi. Alas, alas, that such a son is in my house. Who has the power to grasp the moon in the sky? Then the Lord said, you said you would give whatever I wanted. Why did you say that? My heart wants the moon. Speaking these words, Lord Gaura loudly cried, grasping his mother's sash. That means sadi, pallu. Huh? Speaking these words, Lord Gaura loudly cried, grasping his, clinging to mother's neck. Lord Gaura Rai wept. I want that moon, bring that moon down, he's crying. He wept and spoke many different demands. He stomped his feet, he rubbed his eyes. Clinging to his mother's neck, Gaura Rai wept. He wanted to play with the moon in the sky. One moment he made his demand, the next moment he rolled on the ground. When she's not giving, he will just fall down on the ground and he will just roll in the dirt. Then he pulled his mother's hair. His body was covered with dust. With his hand, he struck his own head. He started hitting his own head. Seeing all this, Mother Sachi said, son, you don't understand. I'm very surprised to see what you have done. Who has the power to grasp the moon up in the sky? How many moons now shine on your own body? Why do you want that moon? There are so many moons on your own body. Look, as he watches you, the moon has become ashamed. That is why it is dark now. The moon is ashamed to appear before you. You have so many moons on you. There's only one moon. He's feeling shy to come in front of you. That's why it has become dark, she's telling him. Aware that you are present, the moon of Navadvip is not manifest. Ashamed, he hides behind the clouds. He is afraid that you are now in Navadvip. Please hear my words. Don't cry, dear child. You are my very life. Speaking these words, Sachi hugged and kissed her son. She gazed at his face. Filled with ecstatic spiritual love, she forgot herself. In this way, Sachi was overcome with bliss. Alas, alas, I did not see Lord Gaura's childhood pastimes, who sang. Lochandas Thakur is saying, alas, alas, I did not see Lord Gaura's childhood pastimes. Her heart overcome with bliss, Sachi spoke broken words. In this way, Lochandas joyfully sings Lord Gaura's glories. So we will stop there. Such sweet pastimes. Lochandas Thakur writes them. I just love his style.
Mataji, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much
Thank you,
for this. Was
Prabhuji.
much
Thank you for
needed for
joining.
me because me and my wife that we are
I don't hear
expecting.
you. My speaker was turned. Sorry.
Oh, I was speaking a little bit while ago, but maybe because of that you didn't hear. No problem, no problem, no problem. I was saying, this is such a nice pastime because me and my wife we are expecting another baby in a week or two. Uh,
Wow.
yeah. So it's a very perfect time to hear this pastime. So this is from Chaitanya Mangal.
Yes, Lochandas Thakur's Chaitanya Mangal.
Oh,
I can
look,
send it to you. You can read every night, you can read it
eh,
to your family. It's very
yes.
sweet.
This is the same Lochan Das Thakur who wrote the song Parama Karuna Pahudvijana.
Yes.
Nitai Gaur. Same
Yeah.
Lochan Das Thakur.
Same.
Okay.
Lochandas Thakur.
Oh, nice. And this is very detailed because in Chaitanya Charitamrita we do not find such. detailed explanation of Lord Korra's childhood pastime, right?
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, that's nice. Nice.
Very nicely, like in it's yeah. He just goes, yeah, in much detail.
Much
Very,
detail, yes.
very
And
sweet.
Mataji, a personal question, like what since you have raised such beautiful kids yourself, and I also hear that you homeschool them. What advice would you give like young parents like me? I have a 5-year-old daughter.
Yeah,
We're expecting another girl.
yeah.
Um, Obviously, she goes to the school here, and then when a child is born, what are the samskaras that you do, like apart from the garbhodhan sanskara that we do before the birth, um, is there any specific thing you would advise, since you are such a nice wonderful devotee, Mataji?
No, I'm not, but uh, actually, there is. I can give you the details of the samskaras. I can send it to you, the written form. But other than that, in general, just I would have the chanting going on all the time.
All the time.
Prabhupada's chanting. So, or I would read also. I was even before pregnancy, during pregnancy, and after delivery also. I just have every day I read, so they
Hmm.
hear. So that I would do. So that's something that you can do.
Yeah, my wife did Srila Prabhupada's Srimad Bhagavatam
Uh-huh.
during her whole pregnancy, the entire Bhagavatam,
Wow.
and she did it for the current one too. She's right now just completing the ninth and 10th one. She's just starting. So I totally, wholeheartedly believe that because of that, there's been grace,
Yeah,
uh, definitely grace. Because reading Srimad Bhagavatam and blessings of Vaishnavas are two of the most important thing you can have treasure in
absolutely.
your life.
Yes,
Yeah,
Prabhu.
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you,
And
bro.
wish you all the best.
Thank you, thank you,
Congratulations.
thank you. Please share with me
I
the
will.
this particular. Thank you.
Samskaras.
Hare
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 Krishna.
Hare
Srila
Krishna.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Ki jai.
Srila Lochandas Thakur ki jai.
आपकी जय। वाचा
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha
कल्पतरुभ्यश्च
kripa
कृपा
sindhubhya evacha
सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां
patitanam pavanebhyo
पावनेभ्यो
vaishnavebhyo namo
वैष्णवेभ्यो
namo.
नमो नमः।
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mate. Hare